Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take 1.
Action!
Here we go, my AKAPADers. Just to let you know what mindset I was in when it comes to Jurassic World Rebirth. I reach out to my fiance, the love of my life. I reach out to her and I say, "What do we have in the fridge for Jurassic? Like, what Jurassic food do we have in the fridge?" She responds. She actually responds like in character. It's like raptor ravioli, like really cool stuff. But I gotta crank it up, my AKAPADers. You guys know it's all gas. So I hit the grocery store, and I live above one here in Philadelphia. And I get turkey burgers. I get salmon burgers. We have some chicken, some shredded chicken from the night before. And my whole idea is to make like this Jurassic burger. And I want to say, I think at Universal Studios, for the original Jurassic Park ride, the cafe that was in that area, that was, Jurassic Park branded cafe. I'm pretty sure they had like a monster burger. It might have been like a chicken beef patty burger. But the idea is like you put all the protein together because, that's Jurassic. It's Cretaceous. It's more or less Cretaceous. Cretaceous cravings. So I make this like really big meal and these giant sandwiches. Really kind of with no intent for it to be consumed. I just wanted to, fall into my own hype. I forgot to buy popcorn. I don't have enough popcorn here, my AKAPADers. I just don't. I don't know why. I never stock popcorn as much as a movie house this has become. So the food gets made, and we start watching the movie. And I'm excited because this is a Gareth Edwards movie. We haven't spoken about it yet on this podcast, but 2010, he made a movie called Monsters. So we can say in 15 years, this guy's been in the game. And here's what we have from him. He makes a low-budget Monsters movie, and it's somewhat of a Hollywood, like Hollywood magic, just as an industry where someone puts up their own money, puts in their own time, but they make a movie. They get a movie made. And the movie is just fascinating. Like, people are still fascinated by Monsters. Just because so much is borrowed from it now. In just the way we do kind of like a real world kaiju giant monster setting. So 4 years later, he's the obvious choice for Godzilla. Here's the wild thing. His Godzilla that now launched a giant franchise, right? We're looking at Kong Godzilla 3 now coming out. What's that called? Supernova. A successful Apple Plus series. It's a huge franchise, the new Godzilla stuff. He's the one that ignited it. 2 years after that, he makes what people argue as the greatest modern day Star Wars movie. Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Rogue One has spawned 2 incredible seasons of Andor. Andor, as a lot of people like to say. That was originally positioned for 5 seasons. And it was really going to go right up into Rogue One. As close as possible. I think it was going to overlap and go into New Hope. But they get 2. Recently, and we talked about it on this show, The Creator 2023, one of the most ambitious, broad, fascinating, original science fiction movies of our time. Did it make a ton of money? No. Did it get memory hold? Yes, but the creator is there. So 2 years after that, Jurassic World Rebirth. It seems like a perfect timing, right? Like this guy's on a roll for 15 years. He's made what you can argue as the greatest Godzilla movie, the greatest Star Wars movie, the greatest independent science fiction movie, the greatest modern day science fiction movie. So he's like one of our guys. He's just like Gareth Edwards. Now, I think along the way, he was supposed to direct a Boba Fett movie. He's been attached to quite a few multiple projects, but he's one of our guys. We like him. So Jurassic World Rebirth, there's parts of this movie I refuse to let the online critics like program me on, and there's a lot of the online discourse about the Jurassic World franchise that I refute. It's like you have to push back, because you do see these talking points echoed from account, and some of it just could be like almost like a game of like content telephone, where things just get repeated. So what do we always hear about Jurassic World Rebirth? They're always on a new island. I believe that at one time. That's not true. In this case, it is though. But there's only 3 islands between 7 movies. So that's false. You hear that the human characters stink. Doesn't quite have the appeal of the first movie. The human characters. Okay. Which is weird, because I think Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and Jurassic World Dominion, those are all human. There's like a true human element. There's a human struggle, especially in Fallen Kingdom. But of course, we can't enjoy ourselves and be constructive enough to see it. But we see it here, which is why, this is why we have a growing audience, my AKAPADers. So this online discourse comes out heavy against Jurassic World Rebirth. But it makes almost $800 million. It's made more money than F1. It's made more money. I thought F1 was going to be a $1 billion plus movie. By the way, guys, it's made more money than Superman that just came out. Made more money than Fantastic Four that just came out. It's the movie of the summer. So what do we have? And where is some of the disappointment? Because when I sit down and I know the discourse as well as I do, and this is an exceptional case. I paid extra attention to Jurassic World. And I did try and see it in the theaters. I'm trying to see Fantastic Four. Every single day I'm trying to see Fantastic Four in Philly, in the Fashion District. It's tough. Peter, the film buff, is busy. I mean, just right before sitting down with all of you, just my phone rings. I got so I don't always pick up the phone. If it's like family, it's one thing, but I don't always pick up the phone early in the morning. If it's work related, I'll wait till 8:30, 9 o'clock, or I'll just wait until I'm done some of my own things. Now there's some people that do get picked up, but some people don't. So moving on. But there's a disconnect in this. There's a little bit of a disappointment. This is where I think it's coming from. This is what I think is honest, and I gotta emphasize that, because there's a lot of disingenuous BS out there. There just is. It's bad faith criticisms. The human elements are there because when characters are in danger in this movie, you feel. When characters are lost, meaning they get chomped up, you're horrified. If you're a jaded audience member, like, don't even bother. So, in my view, the characters are there. The motivations are there. There's a struggle of the ends, like, you know, like the end of their mission. There's a struggle. There's an ethical position that gets presented during this movie, which is what do we do with the blood? Like, you know, like they're there to get the blood of some of these dinosaurs to cure heart disease. I think that's awesome, right? They have a thesis. They present it to you in the movie. That's the cause to go to this island that we haven't seen before. So they get like mercenaries. They get people to do it under the radar. And, you know, in true Jurassic World fashion, all hell breaks loose. In the beginning of the movie, we're introduced to this containment cell where we see a mutation. And in my view, this is essentially the fourth movie in a row that's used these genetic mutations. I think it's just their way, and by there I mean like the filmmakers. It's just their way of telling us this is a new threat. Like this is just something a little bit deadlier than the other dinosaurs. And I'm fine with that because in a way we use so much of our imagination when it comes to dinosaurs. This is why they're infinitely fascinating. That, you know, we infer so much of what we expect from this world onto the dinosaurs. So we get the disastrous or distortus Rex. It's the D-Rex. And I don't think they call it they don't call it the D-Rex at all. We just see it labeled, which is kind of cool. And, you know, we have a containment breach. We see the creature kill someone. And then we don't get the creature again until the end of the movie. Really, like the disastrous or distortus Rex, the D-Rex. This creature bookends the movie. But it is wild. And this is where Gareth Edwards comes in. Because I think people wanted the D-Rex since they used it heavily in the advertising, the posters, the trailer. Here in Philly, the targets are kind of micro. They're baby-sized targets. But they even got some of the action figures. And I think the action figures, there's one that retails for like $80. But it's like huge. And you're like, yeah, well, like Jurassic Park toys should be huge. That's what she said. So we get this bookend. We don't see the creature in action. The creature just shows up at the end. Does some killing. What's shocking in this movie is the disastrous Rex. I just like disastrous better. We see it gnaw a helicopter. It's crazy. It's a crazy shot. It just throws it and the helicopter explodes. So up until that point, we have a family that gets caught up in all of this. All the critics came up heavy against the family. They're like, the family in this movie doesn't make any sense. But there's multiple dramatic moments with them. One of them being, and this is maybe my major position against this movie, and it's kind of against like the PR of this movie. We get this raft sequence that is, the setup for it is amazing because they're in a, we haven't seen the den, the pit or the lair of a T-Rex since Jurassic World. Jurassic Park 2, Lost World. I'm sorry. Right? That's where they get the baby. So this raft sequence, was originally written into, Michael Crichton. He wrote this in the novel. People forget Jurassic Park is based on the novel, and the sequel too, Jurassic World, or Jurassic Lost World, Jurassic Park. Oh my God. So they hyped up this raft sequence that there's production artwork for going back to 1993. So here we go. Like we're getting this sequence, and we're getting it in a very tense way, anxiety-filled, Hitchcock-directed way, where a girl has to pull the raft from the T-Rex is sleeping, and it's so freaking cool. And they show you like the speed of the creatures, where she like undoes the raft, and it pops up, and it blocks our view of the T-Rex. And when she folds it down, the T-Rex is gone, and you're just like, holy crap. So this sequence, I think, was just overhyped. It doesn't last long, but it does move the plot forward, because it separates the family from the mercenaries there to collect the blood of the dinosaurs. So, I mean, it's effective in the context of the movie and the audience tracking everything. But, immensely disappointing, because every single Jurassic World movie that came out since the original, people have talked about this scene. It's of Hollywood lore, of Hollywood legend. I believe there's even a book, like the definitive Jurassic Park, which is like, they put these editions together and they collect all kinds of like info, right? Like interviews, and they put these books together. The cover of this, I believe the book retails for $80. Here we go. That's on the cover. That the production artwork that they painted, that they planned for the original movie, is here. So they put it front and center, and Gareth Edwards brings it to us, and it's like it's okay. It's a quick sequence. You can almost see why they would cut the sequence. It's just not thrilling enough. There's only so much a T-Rex can do that's visual when it comes to a river scene. It's just not there. No critic on planet Earth picked that up, guys. So whatever. We have notes of the original, which is the red flare, the T-Rex being able to get lured, controlled by a red flare at night, because it will track what it sees. The whole movie builds into that. So here's the other really big thing. I mean, and it frustrates me that so much gets missed. We have John Matheson. He's got long wrists. We liked him in Gladiator 2. We like him in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Really tight work. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I would say inspired King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. He does back-to-back Guy Ritchie movies. Logan. Russell Crowe's Robin Hood. I mean, the guy worked with Ridley Scott. Kingdom of Heaven. The Joel Schumacher Phantom of the Opera. Another, Ridley Scott, guys. Hannibal. Matchstick Men. The original Gladiator. Can I say that? Gladiator. This is our cinematographer. With this guy. With this dude. He's 64 years old, by the way. And Gareth Edwards. They gave us what I feel is the best looking Jurassic Park movie. This movie is shot in the darkness. This movie makes you feel a level of dread and loneliness. Some of the lighting at night, it's just we get like quadruple lighting on some of our actors, where it's just there's highlights within shadows and within highlights. It's just, it looks visceral, looks surreal. And Gareth Edwards gives us, pound for pound, starting with the opening of this movie, he gives us the best dinosaur sequences of this entire series. Pound for pound. I know we go to the T-Rex in the original, we go to the Raptors in the original, we go to the Indominus Rex fight and the T-Rex fight in Jurassic World, the Spinosaurus sequence with the cell phone in the belly from Jurassic 3. No one dares reference Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, even though I love the motorcycle raptor chase in Dominion. The raptor stuff in Dominion is really cool. But every single sequence we're in with these dinosaurs, we think someone's going to die. Most likely someone does. So we get this slasher movie. We get this like true horror aspect. Everything's dark. The clock is ticking. They have to do things by the time the helicopter comes to rescue them. It's all built in, right? Baked into the dough, as I like to say. So he gives us visually the best looking Jurassic World movie. He gives us the best dinosaur sequences. We have like raptor pterodactyls. They're mutants, but they're like insane. Like they're insane. It's just like there's this relentless dread he puts into some of these sequences where the creature just isn't stopping. It's almost like Terminator. Like, it's just relentless. And, you know, our characters, they're running out of things to do. They're running out of ways to get away. And we say that to ourselves. And here's how I know it's special. And look, we're not always going to connect to the human characters. We're just not. Okay? Get over it. It's hard for people to connect to Fast and Furious. Even the new Mission Impossible, which is excuse me, which is somewhat of a existential character study of Ethan Hunt. Audiences are more inundated with the news, with real life drama, with real life stories, like, you know, like just the rise of crime documentaries and the obsession with serial killers. Like, the audience like knows real people, I think, a little bit more. The audience likes absorbing documentaries. Like, documentaries have been more consumed now, thanks to Netflix, more than any other time in human history. I think it's tougher for audiences to see and connect with human characters when it comes to movies and situations like this. I think aren't in like high dramas like Anora and The Brutalist, just quick examples where there's a slow dissection with limited characters, or one character in both of those cases, and you get 2 hours with one character. That's very different than this type of film. So it's not fair to ever compare it. But I think audiences are just jaded out of their minds to begin with. So the human elements are not always going to land. I try and be like an empathetic film goer, where I put myself in a lot of these conversations with conversations when they talk about motivation and you know, like other things. Like, you try and put yourself in someone's shoes. So, the fiance. Let's bookend it with her, because she's important sometimes because she's not into the hype into the excitement. You know, like to her, these are just movies. She is the absolute general audience. Really is. Every single time these dinosaur sequences started, and she was working on a presentation. I know, it's blasphemous to have the laptop cracked open during a movie. But we make exceptions for her. We do. She's working on the presentation and pauses and a couple of times said, "What the F?" She never curses. Because these sequences are just so intense. They're so rabid. They're so fast. And they just keep going. But they capture you. And they're scary as hell. And the dinosaurs are relentless. And all these things coagulate. And it comes together. And it gels. And it solidifies. And it concretes itself. And that's where you get a amazing sequence. But along the way, you know, these jaded, corrupted film critics, they will just say, well, I didn't see that. The human element is not the same as the first movie. And it's a little bit weird because a lot of the human element, even in the first Jurassic Park, people just want Jeff Goldblum. And that's it. And that's the only thing they talk about. Like, sorry. Like, it's I think it's a flaccid argument to make. All right, AK Powers. I mean, I enjoyed this. I know you guys were waiting for the verdict. I enjoyed this effing movie. I really did. I thought it was crazy. I thought it was wild. I thought it was fun. Visually, excuse me, visually, it's 100% there. I thought this has I want to rewatch this movie again just for the dinosaur sequences. And that's the point. And that's why this is the movie of the summer. Like, it does make a little bit of sense, doesn't it? All right, AKA Powders. I know, long one today, but I just like these movies.
Okay, that's a wrap.